Hi, this is Bonnie with Pray Ask Gifts. I'm so glad you're here with us. We are on day 8 of our 10-day healing challenge. And today we're looking at some of the really critical blocks to healing. Today we're going to look at pride. So there's a huge correlation that we see in the Bible between pride and sickness, and another huge correlation that we've seen between humility and healing. Now, when the Bible speaks of pride, it actually means arrogant, conceit, and self-exaltation. It's the number one of the top 7 things that God hates. These 6 things the Lord hates. Even 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, the spirit that makes one overestimate himself and underestimate others. And this is Proverbs 6:16. So if we're prideful, we have a tendency to exalt ourselves over God and over people. Pride was actually the reason that Satan fell from heaven, and we see this in Isaiah 14:11-15. He desired to be God, not a servant of God. And when Satan tempted Adam and Eve with pride in the Garden of Eden, he tempted them with what caused his fall. You can be as God. Unfortunately, Satan's pride is now part of our human nature and something that we'll have to fight every day. So how does pride block healing? We see in Numbers 12:10, we see sickness come on Miriam, Moses' sister, when she exalted herself against Moses. In Acts 12:23, we see King Herod struck dead because he took the praise of the people and exalted himself and didn't give glory to God. In Daniel 4:30, we also see Nebuchadnezzar take glory for himself, not give glory to God, and he lost his reasoning for 7 years. So we see that pride can lead to sickness. Now, how does humility lead to healing? Well, we see in Matthew 15:22, the Canaanite woman who comes to Christ to have her daughter healed. She went through humiliation after humiliation. First of all, she calls out to Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus ignored her. But I should mention that she's a Canaanite woman, and that phrase, Son of David, is actually a Jewish term. So it might be that she came in an inauthentic manner, thinking that there was just a magic phrase she could use to get Jesus' attention. But there's no magic phrase, and Jesus just ignored that. The next thing that happened to her to humiliate her was the apostle said, let's send her away. Can you imagine if you went to a church, the pastor ignored you, and the deacons and elders said, send her away? You might just have some pride there that would say, hey, well, I'm just going to leave. But if you were to do that, you would leave without your healing. The next thing that happened to this woman is Jesus told her that healing was for the Jews and it wasn't right to give the children's food to dogs. So he basically called her a dog. And she took it. She humbled herself and replied, even the dogs get the crumbs. At that moment, her daughter was healed, and she got a compliment from Jesus on her great faith. So she humbled herself, she humbled herself, she humbled herself, and she went away with her healing. We also see in Matthew 8:8 the Roman centurion who came to Jesus for the healing of his servant. Jesus said that he would go to the centurion's house to heal the servant. But the centurion humbled himself and said, I'm not worthy for you to come to my home. Just say the word and you will be healed. The centurion had an insight that we would do well to have, and that is he recognized Jesus has authority over evil and authority over illness. And we'll be looking at this more in the coming days. He's actually given that to his followers also. So we have that authority now. But after the humbling of himself, Jesus complimented the centurion on his great faith. So today's challenge is we want to do 2 things that will help us humble ourselves. We do want to humble ourselves before God, admit complete dependency on him, give him glory, and worship him. And then number 2, we do want to humble ourselves before other people by serving them without any expectation of anything in return. So go out and do those. This will be great. And I think we'll see lots of healings when we humble ourselves. Thank you.